Hello, I'm Reverend Karen Davis of First Christian Church. How do you find joy and happiness? Is it by celebrating, throwing parties? Is it hanging out with your friends? Is it going shopping? What is it that brings you joy and happiness? What makes you want to jump up and down and shout and yell and get excited? Well, we find that sometimes just throwing a party or celebrating that may not always do the trick. We find that going shopping and buying things, they may get old, they may get broken, we may not like them anymore. And even sometimes relying upon other people, our friends or someone, to bring us joy and happiness, they may not be there when we need them. So as we read from the book of James again this week, we are reminded of some more great advice. Just like last week when James told us to think before we speak and reminded us that our words are powerful. And this week's passage from chapter 3, verse 13 through chapter 4, verse 8, James reminds us that true joy, true happiness comes from within us. It starts and begins with our relationship with God. When we feel connected to God, when we are connected to something bigger and greater than we are, then that is where it begins. When we make choices and decisions that are pleasing to God, then we can find peace within ourselves that brings us joy. So we are reminded this week that happiness and joy is not something out there, but it's something that begins right here as we make that connection with God and make decisions and choices that are pleasing to God. That will bring us peace, that will bring us joy, and that is where happiness begins. And that in and of itself is a reason to celebrate and throw a party. To know that we are not alone, that God is with us each and every day, and that as we walk with God, even when the world may have its challenges and troubles, that we are not alone. And as we do those things pleasing to God, we can know within ourselves that we have done our best, and that is a reason to celebrate.